Yeah, grandma didn't remarry, not because of pure love, but because your grandpa wore her out and was probably a douche. Men's wives die, they always remarry. When women's husbands die, they never do. And it's not because of pure love. It's because they were exhausted and are like, I'm never doing that again. Whereas men are like, what do I do now? I better find someone else to exploit. God forbid I take care of myself. By the way, look at, I'm eating fresh berries. Ah! That's another way that it's like everything that you've been told about men or what they say about us. It's opposite day, right? It's not because of just love. They love their husband so much they could never do that again. It would feel like betrayal. No! It's because they don't want to be exploited again, tortured. They don't want to endure another man. Yo, I'm back. You guys are all huddled together today. And there's the aggressive pony. Cuckoo. Ask any woman who has lost her husband. Any woman. And even the women are like, I loved him so much. They will always say like, well, I loved him, but I'm never going to do that again. I promise it's not out of loyalty. Even if they had like a good relationship and a loving marriage, they won't do it again. No woman would be that dumb. And yet here I was thinking, wow, when my grandma died, the one that was, I just assumed, wow, my grandpa, he's got just like, look at all these women. He just has a pick. But the aggressive pony is just like giving me a death stare. But believe it or not, he actually had a hard time finding someone who would remarry. He dated this woman, Nora. He traveled like to China with her. My grandfather was terrified of planes. She got him to go on a plane. She loved traveling and, having a partner to like do fun stuff with, and also like brown chicken, brown cow, I guess. And the reason I know that is because he told my dad all the details about how they used phone books. I don't know what for. And a pump. Like, y'all, boundaries. Boundaries is a big issue in my family. So, because my dad then thought it was appropriate to tell his daughter about his father's schmeg's life. Y'all see why I'm so messed up? Why I've had so much therapy? Why I ended up in terrible relationships until like I did a lot of work on myself? Because the men have no boundaries. Anyway, women neither, by the way. But my grandfather begged this woman to marry him. She wouldn't do it. She refused. And it's because he wanted a hospice wife. He was so excited that my grandma died because he was free at last, even though he literally kept her hostage, wouldn't let her have a divorce, right? Was abusive, all that stuff. All this I found out later on, of course. Then when he was finally free of this woman he held hostage, he then was out there trying to date and find another hostage. And Nora wasn't having it. Nora just wanted a companion. Someone to talk to, someone to with. But she did not want to take care of a man. And they finally broke up. Because he was like, well, what's the point if you're not going to take care of me and do literally everything for me and let me hold you hostage and then you nurse me while I get sick and die because I don't take care of myself? You don't want to sign up for that? And she's like, no, I buried a husband before. She literally said, I already buried one husband. I'm not doing it again. Because she knows that she's going to be a hospice wife. So then my grandpa found another woman, Billy. Billy looked just like my grandma too. And we all just loved Billy. She was so nice. And she did exactly what my grandpa needed her to do. Take care of him. But it came with a hefty fee. So do you know while he was dying of cancer, she was having him sign checks over to her. So I know how it goes. I know Southern women. I am a Southern woman. She's probably like, hey, I need to go to the grocery store. Can you just sign this check? I don't know how much it'll be. And then she'd fill it out for like $5,000. She was brilliant. Oh my God, look. What are you doing? She drained that man's bank account. When my grandpa died, there was nothing left. Nothing but the house. And, clearly his kids, my uncles, my dad, my aunt were like, what the hell? Because my grandfather had tortured them and they wanted their money. They wanted the tax of dealing with this man. And there was nothing left. And the only thing left was the house. But guess what? Billy was allowed to live in the house. So they couldn't get money for the house because Billy was allowed to live in the house until she died. That woman screwed my family so bad. But you know what? Good for you, Billy. Savvy businesswoman. Refused to let a man turn you into hospice wife without having him pay up. Yeah, I got nothing. Nobody got anything. the real tragedy is that my grandfather was like never home because he was starting a business so he could provide and protect for his family. He was literally like he was a super poor child and then somehow started like a printing business and it did well. So he actually like built his own house and it was a decent house. So all that labor that he did in order to provide for his family, who he then would come home and torture because he was a man with so much trauma. I'm pretty sure his father was shot in the face in the back of a cop car because he was the town drunk. Jury's still out on that one. That's the last I heard. But anyway, all the things he did, it was for nothing anyway. Because some random ass woman, Billy, that he knew for like 5 years, took all of it. So I understand why my dad and all the siblings were pissed. But you know what? Billy knew exactly what she was signing up for. Burying a man, taking care of a sick man, taking care of a man who's not sick is already hard enough, which is why women are tapping out. Taking care of a sick man, a chronically ill man, and a moody one, there's no price tag on that. Healthcare workers don't get paid enough. Hospice care workers, nurses. So yeah, none of our grandmas remarried because probably because your grandpa was a jerk, not because they really love them. No way. Maybe they love them too, but it's probably because he exhausted her, which is again why women are just tapping out of marriage. And that's because women are telling each other the truth. And thank God. Know what you're signing up for and who you're signing up for it with. Screw weddings. Focus on marriage. Do you want marriage? Not the wedding. Do you want marriage? And if you do, know exactly what the hell marriage is. Or if a partnership is really what you're craving.